Good evening. This is Robin Wilt here. I don't know about y'all, but I am feeling cranky and angry with this Uranus North Node Mars energy that we have going on. And this is a timeless reading. So if you're catching this later on, there could be some other astrological energy. But right now in August of 2022, we do have some big energy with Uranus and Mars and the North Node. So let's just take a moment and drop in. The thing that Spirit keeps telling me with this energy is for us to get nice and grounded, to calm our nervous systems even more than usual. Spirit, we invite you into this reading, into this circle of pure energy and light and healing. And we ask that anybody listening receives the healing and the insights that they need in this now moment. I call in any ancestors and guides of any listeners. I call in my ancestors and guides. I call in angels, ascended masters, any animal friends, all four elements, air, earth, wind, and fire. Air and wind, I said. Air, earth, fire, and water. I call in any other energies that are of the highest vibration for the space. Continuing to get nice and grounded, dropping our energetic cords all the way down to Mother Earth. And I also ask that a white light of protection be placed around each of us individually, and then one around our entire container, making this a safe space, making this a space where we can be kind to one another, where we can see each other on our journey. Y'all get me in my pajamas tonight because that's the way we're rolling. All right. So, since frustration is the theme of the past couple of weeks, and we have this powerful full moon coming up in Aquarius, my mentor for astrology right now is Astrology with Heather Eland, and she has been talking about how this energy that we have with the North Node, Uranus, and Mars is actually more of like an eclipse-like energy. And I don't know if y'all can feel it, but it is pretty explosive because Uranus is the planet of swift changes coming in. It's kind of breaking up the status quo and breaking up these old patterns that we have. And with Mars in the mix, Mars can bring in that sense of frustration and anger. So what I've realized is that as human beings, we don't make changes unless we get to the point where we're fed up with something, right? We don't kind of decide that we're going to make a change in our life until we get to the point of feeling tired all the time, of feeling not inspired, of feeling like we're not doing what we love. We have to get to that point for us to actually be able to make a change. So I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of us, because there is this North Node energy that's involved. Spirit is trying to course correct us and put us back on our path. So trust that everything that's happening is divinely aligned. It's all for your highest and best. I'm wiggling around because I'm trying to get comfortable. I did some heavy duty exercises before I took a shower, so I'm still feeling hot from that. I am leading a magical manifestation group for 8 weeks right now, and we are in fire, so I am feeling it. We have 1 week left, and I just really love these journeys. We move through the elements in a way that helps us to release things that are holding us back so that we can move towards our dreams. So we use each element for 2 weeks, and it's 8 weeks in total, and it's a really beautiful opportunity for sisterhood. My space right now is filled up, but if you guys have questions about it, please DM me or find me on my website. So you can DM me on Spiritual CFO on Instagram, or you can contact me on shedsomelightonit.net. And I am trying to get the wait list figured out on my website, so hopefully you'll see that at some point too. Okay, so in fashion of what's happening in the stars, right? And what I'm experiencing, I know that other people are also experiencing. So I was asking Spirit about what to do a reading on tonight, and Spirit was saying, help people to move past this aggression that they're feeling, this anger that's coming up, this frustration. So I was like, all right, perfect. So I'll just share with you guys briefly because they're telling my angels are telling me to. Anger is a normal emotion. I'm somebody who struggled with anger a lot of my life. For a long time, that was my default emotion because of my childhood, lots of different reasons. That was just the safe emotion. And since I was an empath, I felt everything very strongly. So when I couldn't express my other emotions in a healthy way, and I felt like anger was the only healthy one for me to express, or, the acceptable, not healthy, I just went like overboard with anger. And I was just an angry little elf for like many, many years. I mean, many decades. And it's something that now when it comes up, it can really frustrate me because I'm like, God, I've already worked through this. But what Spirit continually reminds me is anger is a normal emotion. Like I was saying before, anger helps us to move out of these patterns. We finally get to the point where we're fed up with shit. And we're like, I'm not dealing with this anymore, right? So it can help us to set a boundary. It can help us to speak our truth. There's nothing wrong with anger. And actually, the interesting thing about anger and with all emotions really is that if you try to push it down and it's needing to be expressed, that's when you explode and it's unhealthy, is because you're not allowing yourself to express it when it comes up. So, Spirit just showed me a picture of a pressure cooker, right? So, a pressure cooker is like constantly kind of releasing that steam and like little spurts. But if we're constantly taught as a society that anger is bad, that it's not feminine to be angry, it's not right, all of these things that we're taught about anger, we stuff it down, we stuff it down. And then when we lose our shit and we blow our top, then it's like, we're word vomiting, we're saying things we don't mean. This was like my MO. I was really good at like attacking people when I felt like I just had enough and I couldn't take it anymore. So ways that I actually, do we want to do it now? Yeah, I'll just share with you a few ways that I can move through anger in my life, and I'm sure we'll get into it in the individual piles. But just for anybody who's listening to this generally, exercise for me, like I will set an intention for an exercise. So I just did like 20 minutes of a HIIT exercise that I found on YouTube, and I was like screaming and grunting and like allowing myself to process all the stuff that was coming up for me. So physical activity is really beautiful. Writing a letter to anger, writing a letter to somebody that you're angry at. What else? Hitting a pillow, screaming into a pillow, screaming outside, like going into the woods and screaming. I don't do that as much because I'm always nervous that like, I'm going to run into somebody or whatever. So I hope that nobody in my neighborhood hears me, but I do it in the house a lot. And I feel bad because I'm always like apologizing to my dog. I'm like, it's okay. I'm just going to go over here and scream a little bit. Um, anything else, Spirit, that I do for anger that I can share? I haven't done one of these yet, but one of those rage rooms I would imagine would be very good. It's just something to like physically move the energy out of your body. All right, so we're going to get into it a little bit more, but I just wanted to share that with y'all. So we are going to get started with pile one. All right. So we have Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. We have, that was by Kyle Gray. See, I'm trying to get this lighting figured out. Obviously, I haven't yet. Okay, by Kyle Gray. The Affirmators Tarot by, yep, I'll put it in the links. And then also, what else do we have? This is my OG deck. The Messages from Your Angels, Doreen Virtue. I don't have a box for it anymore. I just have it in a little pouch. Okay. So Spirit, please, for pile one, what do they need to know about moving through this energy right now? And I'm not going to go crazy with these. As I'm getting started on my channel, I'm just trying to be consistent. Consistency is a thing. So let's see what we got here. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. So it's White Buffalo Woman. Isaiah, it's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. And then we also get, death and Ace of Wands. Okay, so I think y'all need, Spirit is telling me to give you a little pep talk about soul contracts. And I'm trying to get this lighting right still, so be patient with me. Okay. Our souls make agreements with people. Before we incarnate onto this earth plane, we say, okay, I'm going to work on my anger, for instance, or abandonment, right? Abandonment was one of my big ones. So I made these soul contracts with other souls that they would come in and trigger this pattern in me, right? So I would fall in love with them, they would leave me. But what I had to do is I had to start, and this is the giving birth to new ideas. I had to start understanding that I wasn't the victim. So in our society, we're taught that, and isn't it funny how we're always the victim and the other person's a persecutor? Usually, right? Like we're the ones who did everything right and the other person's an asshole. Kind of funny, right? But there's nobody at fault. Number one, we're all acting out of our trauma. And not that this means that, we shouldn't, like if it's something legally that you're doing wrong, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be held to any punishment that you deserve through our legal system, right? I'm not saying that. But also on a soul level, like we're just moving through these experiences. We are wanting to experience these things. I wanted to experience this abandonment. Who knows? Maybe in my past lives, I was abandoning everybody. I don't know, right? I just have to trust. And I do now that spirit is taking care of it. Spirit is taking care of it. My soul chose to embody these lessons, and I need to let go of this need to be right. So white buffalo woman is really good for forgiveness work. But for us to get to the forgiveness point, we have to move through that anger. So what spirit is saying for this pile is to do the letter, do the empty chair exercise. So a letter, I'll just talk you through these real quick. You can write a letter to the person, right, and rip them a new one. Like tell them every which way from Sunday how big of an asshole they were to you, and just get it out of your system. Because there's a lot of hurt underneath there, really is what needs to come up is all that energy. And then when you're done, you can burn it, you can bury it, whatever you need to do with it. And then it's going to create that space for you to start to step into the forgiveness, right? You can't forgive them from the space of being angry with them. I mean, right, like to a point you can, but in the very beginning, you just need to like process all that anger. And then as you do this, you are allowing that energy to be transmuted and to shift and to acknowledge like, okay, this is something that is leaving my system. This is energy that is dying. This is energy that is being transmuted. And on the other side of that, this is happy little bunny, like he's bounding into this new opportunity. So spirit is saying to do this before the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th of 2022. And if you're watching this at any other date, do this within the next couple of days is what spirit is saying. Because by doing this and releasing this, you're like catapulting yourself into a new timeline. So the way that timelines work is that there are, and I'm not like a scientist, so this isn't going to be like a technical explanation, but an energetic timeline for me is right in the quantum field. We have all of these possibilities. Like there's the Robin that I am right now, but then there's the Robin also that I'm going to be tomorrow. And the Robin that I am tomorrow can be based on a lot of decisions. Like I could go out and get my nose pierced, and that would be one version of Robin. I could go out and get my nipples pierced. Not ever going to do this. I don't know why these examples are coming to me, but this is what came through. Those, right, are going to have ripple effects, and they're going to create different versions of Robin. So when we heal and when we transmute and when we shed this old energy, it allows for us to take these jumps into these new realities that are out there for us. Anything else, Spirit? you're holding yourself back by not doing is what spirit is saying. So use the element of fire. Wands are all about fire. And spirit is saying, like, light that fire under your ass. Get tired of that other person having such a hold on you, is really what it boils down to. Do you seriously, ooh, spirit's getting all, I love it when like certain people's angels are like all up in my face. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life mad at this person? Ask yourself that. Like, do you really want to be 5 years from now and still be mad at this person? Probably not. So allow yourself to move through it, allow yourself to shift through it. And right, like you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. Right? I had to talk myself into that for a long time. I had to say, like, okay, I'm not doing this for them, I'm doing it for me. So, whatever way helps you to move past it, whatever way helps you to step into it, just trust that it is all being taken care of for your highest and best. And Spirit is wanting me to read the book for you on the hold on, on the Peacekeeper. So let's see. You know, I love that they have these books with like the different categories, but then it makes it kind of a pain in the ass to look up the, okay, Peacekeeper 56. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace and happiness over the need to be right. Her medicine helps you to take the higher road in every situation, even if you're under pressure to make a quick decision. It is a reminder that within your hands lies the power to make the right choice for all involved. Oh, choose peace, you know it's calling you. Okay, enough said. I'm probably telling you something that you already know. This isn't something that's new. So great, just do it and move on with life. All right. I love you. If you need support, hit me up on Instagram at spiritual CFO or on my website, shedsomelightonit.net. I do one-on-one sessions where I can help you to tap into these things, to release them. I love doing forgiveness work. I love doing inner child work. So hit me up if you need some one-on-one support. Love you, Pile One. Goodbye. All righty. Pile Two. How you doing, Pile Two? All right, let's see how you can move through this energy right now. This very beautiful Uranus North Node Mars conjunction that we have. And even if you are watching this video outside of this time of August of 2022, Spirit is saying it is still applicable for you. So, right, just trusting. All right, so I'm pulling the cards. I have the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. I have the Affirmators Tarot, and I have the Messages from Your Angels from Doreen Virtue. All right, so one card from here. And I was just saying, I'm not going overboard on time on these readings because my goal is to just be really consistent. So I need y'all to help me with that. And as I gain momentum, we'll see if they're longer. I like things shorter. I'm a Gemini. Who knows if that's, you know, maybe that'll be my thing. Maybe I'll just come in and do quick ones. We'll see where Spirit leads me. Okay. So you get Lord, take charge with authority. And I'm getting, is that Aries or Taurus vibes? Yeah, either one. Yeah, I would almost feel Aries, right, with that take charge. Yvonne, you have special bond with animals. Your pets on heaven and earth are being watched over by angels. All right, so let's see what Spirit has to say. It's funny because sometimes I'll take notes from TV shows that I watch that like really resonate with me. So what came through with this one is, and I'm trying to remember what show it was. It was a Netflix series that was actually very good. I like all the you know, the witchy, like woo-woo ones. So it was somebody who, oh, it was, maybe it wasn't as woo-woo, but it was like the Viking show. I can't remember the name. So it was talking about how, right, if you were just a normal person back in the day, right, and then all of a sudden, like you were made king for whatever reason, you all of a sudden had to learn how to become a king, but it was mainly from like your energy and your actions, right? You couldn't walk around and like be the king and still have that energy of like, oh my God, I'm not good enough, right? You had to like almost pretend like you were in the king energy before you were ready for it. That's what spirit is saying for you, is to continually come back into your power, come back into that Lord energy of, okay, let me pull in this energy from myself. Let me pull in this energy from spirit. Let me trust that I am powerful, right? And this isn't like power in a negative, power hungry way. It's like our inherent power that we all have because we're connected to source. So let me come back to this place of power. Let me come back to this space of sovereignty. And a way that you can do this is because you do have a strong connection with animals. Um, So spirit, yes. So call in the energy of animals. So if you're familiar already with working with spirit animals, you can call in like the energy of a lion, right? If you're trying to have that confidence, you're trying to use your voice, you might call in a cardinal. So spirit is saying just intuitively allow yourself to step into this energy, because your leadership energy is like coming on online. So you really get to like almost pretend like it's here before you really feel it. And just keep telling yourself, right? I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. All right. I'm not trying. I get all itchy and like when I'm doing these. I don't know why. Okay. My throat is like doing a thing. Let me take a sip of water. Mm, here's Tigger's butt. Okay. Then for the tarot cards, we have Nine of Swords. It's funny you're getting, that's so funny you're getting all the animal cards. Which, I mean, this deck does have a lot of animals, but your pile definitely is getting all the animals. So Nine of Swords and the High Priestess with the kangaroo. So definite moon energy again for y'all. It's funny, pile one was getting some moon energy too. So let me see what this has to do for y'all. Oh, I can feel the energy. All right. So swords are all about that mental energy, and see how he's got the monkey mind going on because he's a monkey. Get out of your head, because your head is like trying to talk you out of things. It's like, oh, you don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about. You shouldn't be a leader. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, the best leaders are the people who have had challenges. The best leaders are people who share when they are going through challenges. Like no leader is ever perfect. So instead of trying to think that you have to be like a certain way or that you have to be in a certain place in your life to be a leader, trust that who you are is like ready to be in that leadership energy. And you're probably already more of a leader than you realize. Um, yeah, Spirit, anything else about that? No. So let's see. You get the High Priestess. Yeah, so Spirit is telling me two things for y'all with this card. One is that not seeing yourself energy. So if you need to, like, ask your friends or your family, um, you know, what energy that you what energy it is that you bring. Because you might be surprised at what people have to share. They're also showing me the number two. So in the next 2 weeks, really try to embody this energy of I'm gonna fake it till I make it. I'm gonna be in this Lord authoritative energy, even if I don't necessarily feel it. I'm gonna like embody it without feeling it. So a friend of mine bought me a book by Sharon. I have to think about her name, but it's called The Grandmothers Speak. Um, hang on, I lost my train of thought. Okay, what she was saying in the book is something that I've kind of realized. You know, you have those realizations about stuff, and sometimes when you're reading at a book, it's like, oh yeah, like it really kind of sinks in deeper. Our posture is where so much of our power comes from. So if you find yourself like, oh, I can't do it, I don't know, nobody's going to listen to me, stand up tall, put your shoulders back, put your head, hold your head high, and be in that stance, be in that energy, have your chakras aligned, and then step into your leadership vibe. Step into, I know what I'm talking about. All right, let me see what Spirit has to say about the Lord card. Seems like Spirit wants me to read not all of it, partial information from these cards for y'all tonight. So let's see. The Lord in this oracle holds a ram's staff and wears a crown of antlers, showing he keeps himself firmly rooted in the ground and is protective of his people. His regal air indicates he has a taste for the finer things in life, yet he is sensitive to those who are less fortunate than he is. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. Hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if they say this anymore because, I'm 43, so sometimes I feel like I'm old as dirt with some things, but back in the day when I was a kid, they used to say to like dress for the job that you wanted, right? If you're going on a job interview, it was like, even if you were going for, one of the lower level positions, that you should dress for the position that you wanted someday, right? So you wouldn't go in and like cut off shorts and flip flops. Like you would walk in, a business suit, or you would walk in looking very nice so that people knew that you were taking it seriously, right? So take yourself not too seriously, right? We don't want to get crazy, but take yourself seriously. Stop discounting your energy, stop discounting your gifts, and bring your shit to the world because the world needs it. Okay, so if y'all need some one-on-one support, I do energy work, I do tarot readings, inner child work. I have a magical manifestation group right now that I'm signing people up on the wait list for the second round. It's a beautiful space to manifest through the elements. Yeah, but if you guys want to chat, hit me up on Spiritual CFO on Instagram or on my website, www.shedsomelightonit.net. I know you don't need to say the www thing anymore, but sometimes I forget. So, again, I'm old as dirt, not really, but all right. I love you guys. Love you, pile 2. Bye. All right. Pile 3. I don't have any like cool intro things. Maybe I'll get those at some point. You guys will you'll help me with that, right? All right. So pile 3, what do you need to know to move through this frustrating energy that has been popping up? It's been weird energy. It's almost like hurry up and wait. Like we can all feel the energy wanting to shift, but it's not quite there yet. Which is kind of hard for us. It's hard to have that that vibration. It's funny, y'all are getting the same card, like we're getting similar cards as the other pile. So, but of course, Spirit will have me interpret them differently. So I love that. All right. So we have the Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. We have the Messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue. And we have the Affirmators Tarot. Okay. So from the Angels and Ancestors, you get the Oracle card. It says, wait for important information. Ooh, so what Spirit is showing me with this is like, right, allowing that transformative energy that's coming through for you. Some kind of Kundalini activation is happening for y'all. Right, so Kundalini is that energy that starts at the base of our spine. And as we go through our spiritual journey, it rises for different reasons. I don't know a ton about why it rises for different reasons. I just know that like at different phases in my spiritual journey, like I've had that activation. So right now I'm working on a lot of sexuality stuff and like my masculine and my feminine intertwining. So I feel like it's another activation. So you might just intuitively know that it's happening. You might have a healer tell you that. Yeah, let me know if you want more resources on that. Cause like I said, I don't do it. I don't know if I do a super duper job of like explaining it. I more feel it than anything. So that's part of it on this card. And then also the water. I haven't done this a lot, but Spirit keeps telling me to. So as I'm sharing it with you, that means I also get to try it. So see how she's got the bowl of water. So water is a beautiful amplifier. We can use water to tap into our intuition. And then it also helps us to release emotions and energy that we've been holding on to. It's like, so I went for a swim yesterday, and as I was getting into the water, intuitively, I was like, Spirit, please cleanse my energetic field of anything that's not mine. So it's like we can be really intentional with water for a lot of things, really. But right now, Spirit is saying to help it, use it to help you to cleanse your space, your energetic space, and also for speaking into the water and using it as a oracle device. Let's see. So you also get Archangel Uriel. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you to release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Yeah, it's okay, so what Spirit is saying, this was a big one that I had to work through. So as we have anger and frustration come up, we can almost, not almost, we do, or we can not know what we're really angry about, and then we project it onto other things. So for instance, right, I was angry and I wasn't really sure what I was angry about. So I was projecting it onto like my dog, onto other people, just, normal life was like aggravating the shit out of me. But when I really tapped into what I was angry about, I was angry at the universe for timing of things, for the way that my life is right now with certain things. I felt like I've been doing all the things that I'm supposed to, and like Spirit still wasn't giving me the things that I wanted. Right. So I had some frustration with the universe around it, and I allowed myself to process through it. I allowed myself to share it with God, universe, spirit, whatever you call it. But just allow yourself to feel through that, because there's some grief underneath it. Any specific ways that they can do that? They're saying just light a candle and make a little ceremony of it. Call in your angels, your ancestors, your guides. Call in Archangel Uriel, however you say it, and just allow yourself to be with the emotions that come up. It doesn't even need to be like longer than 5 minutes. Just allow yourself for that space, because what's happening is on the energetic level, you are in this death and transmutation process. I love that in this deck that they have like the flowers and stuff around him. So death is not a bad card. In this instance, they're showing me that as you're transmuting this energy, like the death card is number 13. So 1 + 3 is 4. And in numerology, 4 is all about stability and structure. It's creating that foundation. So as you do this, as you purge this energy, as you allow it to leave your space, you are beginning to build that structure, right? So the structure that you're building is going to be a lot more sturdy after you release that energy. If you take that energy with you, it's like the house that you're building is going to have all that gunk underneath, right? So it's like one of those houses, it's kind of like up on blocks, and you have to like, I've never had a house like this, thankfully, because I don't think I could do it. Not that I'm judging these houses, I just don't know how people do it. Like people have to crawl underneath to like do shit with plumbing. I really don't know how people do stuff like that, right? But it's like Spirit is saying that when you allow these energy and these emotions to like process, you're building it with like this beautiful foundation of love and compassion and this place of like pure joy from your heart. You're not building it based on those old emotions from the past. So allow yourself to move through it. Let's see what Spirit has to say about the Nine of Swords. So the other tarot card that you get is Nine of Swords. So see how he's like peeking? He's doing this number. It's okay if you don't know where you're going. It's okay. Just because we move through things and just because we start to build this foundation, it's almost like, right, we have to put one foot in front of the other based on what our soul is telling us, based on what our heart is telling us, but we may not see 100% of like the end result. So this has been coming up a lot. And it's funny because I think a lot of it has to do with this North Node energy, right? Because we have these things that our soul wants to accomplish. And it's funny because I have often wondered about the correlation between free will and karma, or free will and like our souls, or the universe's choices for our life, right? And again, I've brought her up a few times in this reading just because I'm doing her year-long astrology course to deepen my knowledge about astrology. But Heather Eland, Astrology with Heather, was talking about how when the nodes are involved, like it's this dance between free will and the universe's choices for us, which I think is really beautiful, because I think either way, like the universe's choices for us are mirroring, again, those choices that our soul has made. So even if our ego forgot, our soul is still leading the way, and our soul is still helping us to get where we want to be. And actually, it's even more beautiful than we expected. I've had those things happen recently where I manifested things and it looked a lot different than what I expected. So I almost was like, oh, is that really the thing? But yeah, it really is the thing. So because it comes so differently, you may doubt that you're getting the thing that you want. Because I think that's why Spirit wants us to be clear on, why do I actually want this thing, right? What is actually the feeling underneath it that I want to invoke? So if I want more freedom in my life, okay, it's not even necessarily about, let's say, money sometimes, right? It's about the freedom that you want to cultivate in your life. Anything else, Spirit? So they're just saying to be fluid. Trust that the universe wants you to have the life that you want, and you can just release it, right? You can talk with Spirit and tell Spirit that you're angry. Talk with Spirit and tell Spirit that you're upset. Spirit can handle it. God, whatever, has big shoulders. It's okay. We can allow ourselves to feel these things. All right. So pile 3, if you need any one-on-one support, as always, I am here for you. I offer sessions, one-on-one sessions. I'm doing some group containers as well. So in my one-on-one, I do tarot and astrology. I do hypnotherapy, a lot of inner child work. And then currently the group offering that I have is Magic Manifestation. And we are in a round right now, but I will have the wait list open for the next round. So I would love to see you in there, and hit me up on Instagram at Spiritual CFO, or on my interwebs, my websites at shedsomelightonit.net. Okay, I love y'all. You are fabulous. I'm going to close down the space. Oh, so for those of you who want to join me in this part, thank you to all the ancestors and guides that were here with us. Thank you for giving us your energy. Thank you for these beautiful messages. For everyone listening, for myself, thank you for this energy and the support. We release this energy, we release the space, sending everybody's energy back to them, sending my energy back to me. closing and dissolving this space, but we ask that we carry with us these intuitive insights, this energy that we shifted, that we carry this groundedness into the next 2 weeks, forever really, but specifically the next 2 weeks. All right. I love y'all. If you have any requests on readings, you can drop it in the comment box, or like I said, hit me up on the grams or my website. I love you. Smooches. Bye.